Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jai Hind. I hope all of you are doing well. Good evening, Shiv Shankar. Good evening, Shubham. So I hope all of you are doing well. Good evening, Shaheen and Prachi. Good evening. So I hope I am properly audible and visible to all of you, and I hope that all of you are doing well. Yes. So thank you for confirming this, Harshit, Shubham. Thank you for confirming this. Good evening, Shuhani and Anjali. So first of all, welcome to the session. And like in the last 1 week, we have seen that there is one crisis which has got the attention of the entire global media, and the concern is about the challenge in the West Asia or the Middle East. For the Europeans it is called as Middle East, for us it is the West Asia. So we see that in the recent times there has been, and not just in recent times, over the last 2-3 years, or the last 2 years at least, there have been tensions in this area of West Asia, and right now it has escalated between Israel and Iran. So this is one of the issue which we are going to talk about in today's session. Okay. So the topics which we are going to discuss, the first one is about the West Asian crisis, that is from international affairs. The second topic which we are going to discuss is from science and technology section, that is DNA profiling. The third topic which we will discuss is from the economy section, that is about SEZ rules. And one another thing is from the miscellaneous section, that is Cyprus, a country which is there. So we will see the location, and at the same time it is also there from international relations point of view. Okay. So we will try to understand that what is the importance of this Cyprus in the present times. Okay. So let us first talk about West Asia. Okay. Today we are not discussing the questions. Like this is the June time, so relax a little bit. We were having regular questions before the prelims, so we will have questions still in the sessions, but last day also we have been discussing most of the mains related topics. Okay. So here again we are discussing some mains article today also. The first one is about West Asia. So tell me about this. Like in the West Asian crisis, what do you think? What is the solution for it? Plus, what is the cause of this problem? Why there is a conflict in the West Asia as of now? I am quite good. I hope all of you are also doing well. So we are going to talk about this West Asia crisis today first. Okay. So this is the region of Middle East. This is the region of Middle East. Over the last 2 years, since October 2023, when Hamas has launched an attack on Israel, we have seen that the West Asia has continuously been on the boil. There is a continuous fight there. A number of countries has been engaged in that. Lebanon is there, Syria is there, Iran is there, Israel is there. Sometimes we see involvement from Yemen also. Okay. Plus, of course, there is involvement from United States, United Kingdom, and somewhat Russia as well. Although Russia has been more of an observer right now. So what do you think? Because Iran developed nuclear weapons, okay? And what else? See, let us try to understand it one by one. First of all, we see that there was this event of October 2023. There is this event of October 2023. In that, we have seen that Hamas Hamas terrorist group attacked on Israel. It has attacked on Israel. This has started attacking. This has started attacking Israel capital as well as other areas. Then of course there was an expected and a natural retaliation from Israel. So then we see that there was a retaliation. But this time what we see that the retaliation from Israel was not limited to the Hamas outfits within Israel. It was not limited to Hamas outfits within Israel. What they did, they started attacking all the countries where Hamas is having any such base. They started attacking in Lebanon. Okay. They started attacking in Iran. They started attacking it, means here the retaliation expanded to Lebanon, Iran, Yemen, Syria, and all other countries. Now see, there is a hypocrisy of the Western world in this part. We have just seen that in April 2025, some terrorists which were sponsored by Pakistan, they have attacked in India. When India started to retaliate, when India started searching for these terrorists, the entire world was concerned that this may lead to this war. There is a time of peace, there is a time of development and all. So when India was searching for the terrorists in Pakistan, when India was attacking the terrorists in Pakistan, United States, United Kingdom, Canada, all other countries of the world, they were concerned about global peace. They were concerned about war and all other things. For the last 2 years, there is a continuous fight going on in Israel and West Asia. There is a continuous fight going on between Russia and Ukraine. And during that time, they were speaking about nothing. So there is a Western hypocrisy, which we see here also. That when Israel is attacking all these Hamas outfits in these countries, no American leader, no UK, no European Union, no other country is saying a single word. So that is the Western hypocrisy also. So this one thing which we see that, and this retaliation, it has also impacted civilian population. It has also impacted civilian population in Gaza. Many children, many innocent women, they have been killed. Okay. So what we see that there has been death of more than 40,000. There have been death of 40,000 Palestinians in the last 2 years. 40,000 Palestinians. And not a single word from United Nations or other agencies. Okay. So this is the Western hypocrisy. This is the challenge with United Nations. So this is one part, that what is happening between what is happening between Israel and Hamas. So now this is one part of a story. There is other part. Just look at this map once again. Look at this map once again. You will notice one thing. When we talk about this region, when we talk about this entire region of Western Asia, you will find another thing here. Most of the countries which you see in red, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, Israel and other countries, they are coming under the influence of United States. Okay. These are under the most of the area. Most of West Asia, they are under the influence. They are under the influence of United States. Then there were certain countries which were opposing it. One of them was Iraq. Another was Syria. Okay. Then we have seen Lebanon. Okay. So these were three countries which were opposed to US. They were initially opposed to United States. What we have seen, United States has captured these areas, means it's not direct capture, but their political setup has been transformed by US. In Iraq, there is a government which is working on behalf of United States. In Syria, there is a government acting on the behalf of United States. Now there are two countries which are left here. One of the countries, Iran, and the other country is basically Yemen. And that too because of the Houthi rebels. They are not under the influence of, not under United States influence. So this is one part. These countries are opposing the influence of United States. So basically, it is not only a war. It is not only a war between Iran and Israel. This is a war. This is basically a domination war of United States, which is being carried out by Israel in the West Asian area. Okay. So Israel is carrying out the mission of United States in this area. So it is not simply a war of Israel and other countries. Okay. It is a war which is being caused due to US because it wants its influence in the other regions. Okay. And for this, they have a treaty. For this, they have a very faulty treaty called as NPT. NPT says that only the P5 nations, only they can become nuclear power. Only they can become nuclear power. The rest other world, the rest other countries of the world will not become nuclear power. This is crime as per the NPT treaty. So what if Iran is developing its nuclear weapon? Why the P5 countries are having nuclear weapons? P5 countries consist of Russia. Russia is attacking the neighboring countries. P5 countries consist of like China. China has an aggressive policy against India also, in the South China Sea also, other regions also. P5 consists of US. US is engaged in fight all over the world. So how they are responsible countries? In fact, if we look at the history, United States is the only country which has used nuclear weapon. So if any country must not have nuclear weapon, it is United States. Because this is the only country which has misused nuclear weapons as of date. So there should have been no nuclear weapon in United States. Now they are telling the world that you should not have nuclear weapon. So this is why they want to dominate over Iran also. Israel is also having nuclear. Why there is no ban on Israel? Pakistan is having nuclear weapon. So what we see that this is not just about the Hamas. This is not just about this Iran and Israel. It is a US war for domination in West Asia. And for what? For what? For what region? The region is one simple thing. The region is very much simple. Oil. The region is very simple thing. US wants to have control over this entire oil, plus it wants to have this influence in the entire region. So that's why United States and Iran, Israel and everything is going on at war. Okay. First it was Israel versus Hamas, then Israel versus Hezbollah, then Israel versus Iran, then Israel versus Houthis. But behind all these things, there is one backing, that is United States. In this region of Palestine, Syria, Lebanon, there have been loss of lakhs of life. In Palestine alone, 40,000 civilian population has been killed because of strikes by Israel. Okay. So this is one part. Now, there is a challenge for India. So while all this thing is going on, there is a challenge for India. Okay. there is a challenge for India, and that is Iran versus Israel. We have a challenge. We have Iran versus Israel. Why Israel? Even when India was at war with Pakistan, there is one single country in the entire world which came directly on front and said that yes, India has the right to retaliate against Pakistan. That is one single country which has always been in support with India. Okay. So this is one part. They have always been in support of India. Okay. So this is one country that despite everything, it has always been in support of India. Historically, culturally, in all manners, we have relations here. Second part, it provides us the defense technology. Defense technology. Then it is also important for access to Mediterranean and Europe. So if we talk about Israel, Israel has been always been support of India. This is helping us in defense technology. This is helping us in access to Mediterranean and European nation. So that is one benefit in case of Israel. When we talk about Iran, Iran is one of the supplier of oil. But despite this part, oil, we can get oil from other countries. But this is a neighboring country of Pakistan. Okay. Strategically important. Strategically important. Why? Borders Pakistan. And at the same time, what we see that at one hand it is bordering Pakistan, on the other hand it is also that Gwadar port, okay, sorry, Chabahar port, which is nearby this Gwadar port of Pakistan. Okay. So here we are having this access to Chabahar port. Chabahar port is again important for access to Mediterranean or access to Central Asia. Russia, all these things. Okay. So we are in the dilemma. We are in that dilemma, okay, that we are dependent upon this region. We are dependent upon this region for multiple things. At the same time, there is one more part, that in this area of West Asia, there are 9 million Indians living in that area. So in this entire region, we have a diaspora. 9 million. In this entire region of West Asia, there are 9 million Indians living here. There are many living in Israel, some living in Iran. So when Israel and Iran are throwing weapons at each other, it is the Indians there who can also be hurt. Whether Israel is launching on Iran or Iran is launching it on Israel, in both sides, we have Indian citizens over there. So we have 9 million over the entire West Asia, not in Iran and Israel. Over the entire West Asia, we have 9 million Indian diaspora. So that is also a concern for us. So we have oil concern, we have the strategic concern, we have the concern of connectivity, and plus the diaspora. So that is the challenge for India. And in all this, we have the US president. In all of this, we have the United States president. So loaded with weapons, the United States is supplying weapons to all the countries for fighting the war. And then it is also becoming the mediator. It is also becoming the mediator for preventing the war. So it is saying that I am here to prevent the war also. Basically, Donald Trump is also trying to get the same Nobel Prize which was provided to Barack Obama for attacking various countries in Middle East. Okay. So during the reign of Barack Obama, there were various military adventures of United States in West Asia or the Middle East. And for that, he was given this Nobel Peace Prize. So in same manner, Donald Trump also wants a Nobel Peace Prize by having some war first in this area and then saying to the world that I am trying to prevent it. Okay. So they are also trying to get it. Okay. So this is the concern which is going on in this region of Western Asia. Okay. I hope this first part is clear, that what is happening in West Asia, what is the crisis going on there. Okay, so they are the supplier of weapon, they are the cause behind the war, and then they also say to the world that we are stopping the war all over the globe. Okay. So this is the one thing which is going on in the world right now. Okay. I hope this part is clear. Okay. So that is our first topic, West Asian crisis. Now, coming to the next part, that is DNA profiling. Okay. So we have seen that in the last week, there was this tragic accident of Air India. Okay. And in that tragic accident, there has been death of more than 250 people in the area. Okay. Some of the people who were there on the ground, they might have also been injured. Okay. And then the people who are there, then the people who were there in this flight, they were also declared dead. Okay. I think only one survivor has been found from the plane. Okay. So this is one thing, like there has been crash and now the bodies are being identified. Okay. The bodies of the people who died in that tragic accident, their body is being identified. And in that case, there is a method which is used. And that method is called as DNA profiling. Okay. So there is one thing, a scientific thing, a forensic, like there is a method called as DNA profiling. DNA profiling. So this is a technique of identifying the paternal or maternal or other things or other linkages of any person. Okay. And why do we do that? Because we know that every person, every individual, they have got a unique DNA which is present in nearly all the cells of their body. Okay. So what we see that DNA is unique for every individual. DNA is unique for every individual except twins. Except twins. Okay. So except twins, in case of this DNA, it is unique for all the part. Okay. It is considered as the gold standard in forensic investigation. Other things may go wrong, but most of the time DNA profiling is correct. And it can be used for identification of the person, especially if there is no other signs of identification. Like suppose you may have seen that when the plane crashed, there was a huge fire, and that fire led to the burning of the bodies. Okay. It led to the burning of the bodies. So in that case also we see that other identification marks may not be that much helpful. So in this scenario, DNA is the only thing which can be used. DNA identification can be done from bone, teeth, soft tissues, skin cells, etc. Okay. So it can be done on basis of DNA from bone, teeth, or tissue, skin, etc. So from all these things, this DNA can be matched or DNA can be taken. Okay. So this, like what we see that, like how do we do it? So there are 4 techniques. There are 4 methods. There are 4 methods which are taken. Okay. One is the short tandem repeats. Short tandem repeats. The first one is the short tandem repeats. Okay. Normally, what we find that, like in the case of any DNA, there is a repeat. Repeat, like suppose ATCG, TGT. So these type of repeats are there. So on the basis of these repeats, on the basis of short tandem repeats, it can be identified. Okay. So this is considered as unique for every individual. This is considered to be unique for every individual. And what we see that in this case, it is the most widely used method. Okay. This is the most widely used method. Most widely used method. So that is short tandem repeats. Using short tandem repeats, using the short tandem repeats, people can be easily identified. Second is mitochondrial DNA. Second is mitochondrial DNA. Now, if this cellular DNA is somehow destroyed, if we have the cellular DNA which is somehow destroyed, so we cannot use the short tandem repeats. Now, in this case, there are certain genetic material which is present in the mitochondria also, and this helps in identification of the mother. Okay. So it is suitable for matching with mother. Okay. So from here, it can be identified with mother or like any relatives of mother. For example, say if a person is there, just to show you, like suppose there is a person. Okay. So let's say here is the son, mother. Okay. Now mother may be having brother or sister. Okay. So this son of mother, let's say this is A, B, C and D. So D is the son of mother, let's say anyone. Okay. And the mother of this person is also having a brother and a sister. So suppose if mother is not there, it can also be matched to the maternal family. Maternal family in that brother and sister only, not the father. Brother and sister only, or mother of mother. Okay. It can be matched with mother of mother, but not with the father. Okay. So it is a maternal cycle. It is a maternal cycle. So it can be matched only with mother. So this son can have match of the maternal or mitochondrial DNA with the mother or brother of mother, mama or mosi. Okay. So from there we can have this DNA profiling. Okay. So this person will be maternal uncle, maternal aunt. So from there can be connection. So this mitochondrial DNA can be used for mother or maternal family, maternal siblings. So So from there can be somewhat matches. Then there is third one, Y chromosome. Y chromosome. So it is for determining relation with father. Determining relation with father. So Y chromosome analysis is done for determination of relation with the father. And at the same time, we have one last option. When nothing works, then we have one thing called as single nucleotide polymorphism, SNT. SNT. Single nucleotide when suppose that only few elements are there, when suppose the entire DNA set is not there, when the entire DNA sequences are not there, in that scenario, even if a small nucleotide is there, a small nucleic material is there, they can also be used. It cannot be very much accurate, it cannot be very much effective, but it can still work. And it can be used in the case of highly degraded DNA. If the DNA is not complete, so in that case, single nucleotide is taken, the polymer is created using the single nucleotide, then it is matched with other samples like hair samples or any skin sample. So from that it is matched. Okay. So it is the less effective method. It is the less effective method. The most effective method is of course the short tandem repeat, and the least effective is SNT. Mitochondrial for maternal linkage, Y chromosome for paternal linkage. And this short nucleotide polymorphism, SNP. So short nucleotide polymorphism is for highly degraded DNA, when the DNA sequence is not sufficient, not complete. In that case, we use it. Okay. So I hope this part is also clear, that what happens in case of the DNA profiling. We have 4 methods. One is short tandem repeats, the best method. If we have the entire DNA set, all the members are having their individual DNA sets having these repeats. Using that, it can be determined. Okay. This is mostly used in forensic. If we have to determine if someone has committed the crime or not, so this is the best possible thing which can be used for forensic analysis. Then maternal linkage, we have the mitochondria DNA. Paternal linkage, Y chromosome. And then SNP, short nucleotide polymorphism. If DNA is highly degraded, we can use that. So sometimes you may have seen there was a very important, very interesting TV series which was CID. If you may have seen that, ACP Pradyuman and then Inspector Daya, Inspector Abhijit. So if you have seen that CID, you may have seen that in the forensic analysis, they were collecting the samples from toothbrushes or hair combs. So from that also, they were using the samples, and that sample was matched with degraded DNA. From there also we can determine the DNA profile. Okay. So that is the use of DNA. When the report of black box, some of the reports are coming, some of the reports are still coming there, that temperature reached 1000 degrees Celsius. That is one report which I have recently seen. Okay. Your favorite, at one point of time, it was the most favorite television channel, show of most of the people. There were two shows which were quite popular, and in fact that were the good times of television. There were 2 shows which were quite popular. One was that Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma. So people used to have a lot of fun in their own homes with that show. and then there was this CID and all. So at that time, TV was in fact a source of entertainment. Now TV is a source of misinformation. TV is a source of many other things, but news, clashes, violent talks, and all other things. So there was a good time of television. It's not that the OTT platforms have become very much popular. The TV shows which were there, they were not able to connect with people. They have gone away from the reality. Okay. So it's not that OTT platforms like Netflix, Amazon, Geo Hotstar or others have started to dominate. The TV lost its relevance. The TV lost its relevance, and then the OTT platforms filled that void. A void was created. That void was only filled by the OTT platforms. So this is one part, like about the second method, that is DNA profiling. Now, अच्छा अभी भी मिलता है CID? I don't know. It has been very long time since I watched any such show. It has been very long time. Generally, if I want to see anything, I even now, whenever I get time, I watch some of those shows of Tarak Mehta on YouTube. They have various shows on YouTube also. So there I sometimes watch it. Okay. You don't have time. Of course, you don't have the time. You have to prepare. After preparation, you can watch it. It is there on the YouTube. I will ask them to save it for 10 more years. Okay. So first go into job, do something good for the country, and then you can watch it. This is your time to work. This is your time of working. You don't have any leisure time now. So for next 1 year or 1.5 years, almost for 2 years, like your interview will be conducted in January, Feb. So almost for 2 years, you have to just study, study and study. It will be there after 2027 April also. So once your result is declared, you can binge watch all those things. Okay. Now, coming to this one, this article is from Economy. Okay. So we have one thing called as a special economic zone. Special economic zone. Special economic zone. Okay. After job भी नहीं मिलता time. In your time, Ramayana is very much famous. Ramayana is famous even now. And in your time, what do you mean? Like, do you think that I am 60 years old? I'm not 60. So let's come back to this part. When we talk about the zone, it means a specially designated area. This is basically a specially designated area. A specially designated area. Okay. When we talk about economic, so it simply means that some economic activities are going on. Okay. Economic activities. Economic activities. It can be related to manufacturing, or it can also be related to services. So both things are there. It can be manufacturing related job. It can also be service related thing. But then there is one thing special. There is one thing special. So a specially designated area where economic activity is taking place, manufacturing or services. But what is so special about it? What is something special about the special economic zone? So let us see that. What we see that when we talk about the special economic zone, there is one thing. They are special in terms of government rules and They're special in terms of their purpose. They're special in terms of the government rules as well as the purpose. So what is that purpose or what is that government rule? Let us try to see that. Government rule is that there is tax incentives. There is one thing called as tax incentives. Sometimes up to 5 years. Sometimes up to 5 years, sometimes even more. So there is tax incentive for those companies which are located in this zone. Okay. There is also simplified customs and procedure. Simplified customs and procedures. There is simplified customs and procedures. For those units who are within the SEZ, there is a single window clearance process. For all other things, they are given a single window clearance. Means all their work, for that they won't have to go to different offices. There is a single window clearance. Means at one place, they are going to get all the solution. Plus one more very interesting part, they are treated as foreign territory. They are treated as foreign territory for the purpose of trade, for the purpose of duties, for the purpose of tariff. Okay. So treated as foreign territory for trade, tariff and procedures. These are a special thing. Like when we talk about the government related rules, if we talk about this special economic zones, what we see that they are given all these incentives. They are given tax incentive. They are given freedom from many of the rules. They have got the single window clearance. Now, why this all special facility? Why they have been given all these special facility? Because if we talk about them, they are export oriented. They are export oriented. They are not just focusing on the domestic market, they are export oriented. They will produce the goods which will be sold out, Okay, so that is one part. We see that they attract, these regions, they attract FDI, foreign direct investment. The areas in SEZ, they get this foreign direct investment. They create huge employment. Okay. Employment. Like what we see that 28 plus lakh till 2023. Okay. If we talk about the SEZ, they have created more than 28 lakh jobs in India as per 2023 data. So they create also huge amount of job. There is also there is infrastructure development. The SEZ led to development of this infrastructure. So these are a special thing. Plus state of art technology. State of art technology. And also management. So the management of these companies, the management of these industries are not just like, they are not just slipping over there. They are not just taking everything in a simple manner. They are export oriented, dedicated units, and their simple work is to increase the export from India. The special economic zones are not just created that we have to create an economic zone in this area. No, they are created for a specific purpose, for creation of jobs, for creation of opportunities, for creation of for getting FDI, for increasing the India's performance in global economy, all these things, technology transfer, getting global management skills. These are the special ability of special economic zone. So special because of government rules plus the purpose. It is an economic zone. So here we have many factories or many industries. Okay. It can be in manufacturing or services sector. It can also be a specially designated area. So that is what we simply call as SEZ, Special Economic Zone. I hope you got the idea from here that what is a special economic zone. SEZ is especially for this purpose. Free trade zone, you can understand that only in that trade rules are relaxed. In free trade zone, it is trade rules which are relaxed. Normally, suppose that ASEAN is a free trade zone. So if there is a trade between the members of ASEAN, there is no tariff, no duty. Or if European Union, it is a free trade zone. So there is no tariff when goods are moving from one country to another country. So that is FTA. Okay. Now what we see that there is a latest change with respect to SEZ for electronics industry. Okay. So there is a change. There is a change with respect to SEZ for this. There is a change for SEZ for electronics industry. And what is the change? That they will require a minimum area of only 10 hectares. Okay. In other cases of special economic zones, there is a minimum requirement of area of 50 hectares. But for a special economic zones, okay, for a special economic zones of semiconductor, there is a requirement of area of only 10 hectares. In that also, the special economic zones can be set up. Okay. Second thing is, they have been allowed to supply domestically into the domestic tariff area. Okay. So other SEZ, they are only for the export related things. SEZ are especially for exports. But here what we see that these SEZ which are there for this electronic sector, they have been allowed that they can send their products within India also. They can supply their products in India also. Of course, they will have to give somewhat tariff. Okay. So somewhat duty, somewhat tariff will be applicable, but they will be allowed to trade in domestic areas as well. So two main changes. Some other changes are also there, but we don't have to go that much in detail. One major part is that 10 hectare, that will be sufficient to start a special economic zone of electronics area or semiconductor. Second thing is, they can also supply in the domestic market. So these two changes have been brought in for the SEZ zone. I hope the change is also clear. Yes, for normal it is 50 hectares, but for semiconductor industry, now it is going to be 10 hectares only. So this is one part. Now coming to the last article, that is with respect to Cyprus. Okay. So this location factor, there are two things which we have to see. One, the location of Cyprus. So it is there. Cyprus is the region. Okay. You can see this is the location of Cyprus. Here we have our country. If you remember, this was one of the country which we have seen here, Malta. Last week we have talked about Malta. Why we were discussing about this? What was the purpose? Why we were discussing about Malta? Like, what was the aim of Malta? Why we have discussed it? Do you remember what was the context? We were discussing about this Malta region for a special news article. So what was that news article? uh, golden citizenship and golden passport visa. Okay, so golden citizenship provides citizenship in lieu of the investment over there, and there is also a golden passport visa also. So that's why Malta was there in the news. Now we have a small country over here, a very small country over here, Cyprus. Think about this, how they might be feeling. The way things are going on between Israel, Lebanon, Syria, Iran, they might be thinking about this, that what if one of the missiles crosses over Israel and falls near us? Okay, so they might be having another challenge. They are nearby Israel, Lebanon and other places. Okay, so they might be having that other fear, that what if it crosses over? What if it comes into the region of Mediterranean? Okay, so that is another level of challenge for them. Okay. So why we are discussing about this? Indian Prime Minister has visited, India has said that India will be having this good relations, or India will try to strengthen its relation with Cyprus. Okay. Now the thing is why? Okay. So our Prime Minister has recently visited this area of Cyprus. Okay. Here we have Cyprus. Okay. So our Prime Minister has recently visited there. Now the thing is why? Why India is going in this Cyprus region? What is the key here? Why we are going here? Do we like the Mediterranean? Why we have gone to a very small state, island country of Cyprus? What is the reason? Any idea about this? Why we are going over here? Turkey. There is another part. Cyprus, if we talk about this country, it is going to hold the European Union presidency. In 2026. So Cyprus is going to have this European Union Council presidency, European Union Council presidency in 2026. Okay. So this is one part, that it is going to have the European Union presidency. It rotates between the member. So Cyprus is going to have it in 2026. So you can understand from there that Cyprus is India's gateway to European Union. That is part 1. Second part, India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor. India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor. Although with the current war going on in Israel and other places, there is a unlikely chance that this is going to be completed in time. But at the same time, whenever it is completed, we have to look at Cyprus as one of the key partners. Okay. So this is also one of the region. So these two are major regions. One is India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor via this Cyprus region, and the second part is, of course, a better relation with European Union. All other things are like side by side. Like we will have we will have alliance in technology, we will have alliance in AI, defense, shipping, tourism, etc., etc. All these things are side by side. You know that like all other things are just like a cherry on the ice cream. Okay? That it is just for that decoration purposes. The main ice cream is European Union Council presidency, and second part is the India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor. So these two are the major reasons why India is keen in having a strong relation with Cyprus. Okay. So this is one part. Okay. I hope it is clear. Of course, you can sell Indian defense weapons also. We have so many weapons. So I hope these two things are clear now. I am preparing for UPSC with college. How to manage both? It is difficult. Like college is also for 5 to 6 hours. Then classes are also there. Yeah. So what we see that if you are looking for this UPSC 2026, then you will have to give at least 5 to 6 hours of study per day. You will have to devote at least 6 hours per day. That is the minimum requirement. Like for self study, apart from the classes, I am saying. So you can arrange some time in the morning, or you can arrange some time in the evening or the night, but this is the minimum amount of time which you will require. If you give 6 hours, 1 hour for current affairs, okay, 1 hour let's say for 2 hours for your GS paper, 2 hours for optional paper, and 1 hour for revision and practice. So this is the minimum thing which is required if you are going for 2026. Still, you may have to take like some leaves, or you can give more focus on UPSC preparation during the weekends. So whenever you are getting times on weekend, or suppose some festivals are there, some leaves are there in colleges, so in that time also you can manage. दस घंटे की नींद के साथ तैयारी कैसे करें? 10 घंटे की नींद के साथ तैयारी सपने में कर सकते हैं। लाइक देखो, सपने में आप पढ़ सकते हो। जैसे आप रात में सोने जाओ, आप किताब को अपने बगल में रखो, ठीक है, जैसे आप सपने देखो उसमें आपको याद आए कि ओके, इन द पार्लियामेंट्री चैप्टर्स व्हाट आर द टूल्स ऑफ पार्लियामेंट्री प्रोसीडिंग्स, उससे में आपको याद है सपने में कि हाउ द मनी बिल इज पास्ड इन द पार्लियामेंट। तो आप एक काम करो, सोने से पहले किताब थोड़ा पढ़ के फिर सो, तो हो सकता है देन यू विल बी एबल टू गेट द ड्रीम्स ऑफ ऑल दोज थिंग्स व्हाइल यू आर स्लीपिंग। तो तब आप 10 घंटे के साथ मैनेज कर सकते हो। What to do next? I have completed the UPSC foundation batch and NCRT. हाँ, तो if you have completed the foundation batch and NCRT, just do one thing. Try to divide the syllabus into different parts and go with the revision of the prelims and mains section separately. Like you can give 3-4 hours for the prelims, 2-3 hours, or like 3 hours for prelims, 4 hours for mains per day, then some for optional and current affairs. So once you have completed the classes, we have now sufficient amount of time. So you can dedicate it for revision of prelims, mains, optional. So divide the time which you get, like more amount of time for mains and optional, GS and optional, and like 2 hours even for prelims per day will be sufficient for right now. Okay. राइटिंग स्पीड तो ठीक है, बट मेरी राइटिंग खुद को ही नहीं समझ में आती। See, there is one simple thing which you can do for it. Write something and show it to your parents. There may be someone in your family who can be very much caring for you. Whenever you are doing some mistakes, they can slap you or they can give you some lecture. So whenever you are writing something in very fast speed, just show it to your guardian from whom you are fearing a lot. That will create a fear in your heart, and next time when you are writing, your pen will be moving accordingly. There is one simple thing: when you are writing something, if you focus on what is writing, now being serious, if you focus on what you are writing, then it will be good. If you are just writing that I have to write, it will not improve. Just focus on something. Like suppose here I am writing about, like let's say I am writing Israel. So if I write without thinking about this, it can be like Israel. If I think about this, that okay, I have to write Israel, then it will be much more clear and visible. Okay. So think about what you are writing. Like just focus on your pen at that moment of time. Be full focused and dedicated there. Your your writing will be at least visible. If not very good, it will be visible. लेकिन सर पास में किताब रखकर नींद अच्छी आती है, हाँ उसी को तकिया बना के सो जाना है. जस्ट यूज दैट एज पिलो एंड यू कैन स्लीप. नहीं अंजलि, दिस you cannot ignore it now. Just take any one optional which you like, any one optional, any one subject which you can understand, in which you can solve question, in which you can solve the previous year question, or you can even understand it. So if you have an understanding of any of the subject, any of the optional, pick any one of them and start the preparation now. Now there is no such time which you can spend on thinking about what optional you can take. Just decide one and start doing it. Sir, if you think Israel can destroy the Iran nuclear weapon by itself, I think Israel of course have good nuclear, good weapons. It can destroy of course, but destruction of nuclear installations can also have ramification on the civil population. एनसीईआरटी कितने दिनों में कंप्लीट करना चाहिए? 3 months maximum, 90 days. If you are reading by yourself, 90 days is sufficient. Okay. 90 days is sufficient. See, those who have completed course, those who have completed, what you have to do? You have to divide your preparation in prelims, GS, optional, practice, and of course current affairs. Okay, so these 5 things you have to do. For prelims, like most of the focus from June to December, major focus should be on these 2 things. Major focus. And in the previous classes I have given you one thing. Some of you have asked me again on various modes. Some of you have asked me on Instagram or Telegram that how many topics I have to do, or you have asked me like, I have got the notes, still do I need to make the notes fresh again? So yes, answer is of course you will have to. You have to make 180 themes. You have to make this 180 themes, okay, by your hand. You may have seen in polity, there is one thing that presidents appoint the Comptroller and Auditor General, the CAG, by himself, by his hand and seal. Okay, by warrant under his hand and seal. Means they will, the president will sign itself. There will be a seal of the president. So in same manner, you have to prepare this notes by warrant under your hand and seal. Of course, you don't have the seal, but you can prepare your handwritten notes. Okay. Later on, when you become the collector, you can have that seal also, that okay, this notes belong to collector, your name. Okay. So in the same manner, you can do it. Okay. It has to come from your hand itself. So this is one part. Practice. This is something which you have to do regularly. You have to do this on a regular basis. Write the same answer again and again, same, like solve the same question again and again, but do it. Okay. For current affairs, of course, you have me. Okay. So for current affairs, you have me. And for prelims, you have the books like Standard plus NCERT and plus your class notes. Only this much. So this is one thing which you have to do. Okay. No, Shiv Shankar, the thing is like this was your first time and you told me that you will again start this preparation with fresh mind. Okay. So don't feel hopeless that you will not be able to. Of course, whenever you give the exam and the result is not so good, so sometimes we feel that everything is over, but it is not so. If you focus on things, if you again start working, then you will regain that strength and confidence. So don't worry anything about it. It will be all fine. Okay. हाँ, CSET के लिए भी आप दे सकते हो ना, जी prelims part you can give CSET and GS both. Like even if you are giving, like say from Monday to Saturday you are reading GS paper 1. Even on Sunday if you are giving time to CSAT, so 52 Sundays, that will be more than sufficient. Okay. So for today that will be all. Okay. Just one information for all of you. We are having this Adhyan batch here. You all know that from last week, Monday, we have started this. So for current affairs, you are also having this one part. We have started it. And in the last week on Friday, we were discussing about the answer writing. We have discussed about answer writing, that what all you have to do. Today we have started with topics of January 2025. Okay. So we have started this in Adhyan batch. Those who want to join, they can get enrolled here. Okay. So that will be all for today. You can do that. Anjali, you can do that. You can do that from the book. You can solve the PYQs from there. So thank you all. Take care and all the best.